Hey teachers. So I'm super excited today because I have finally finished quarter 1 and quarter 2 for the math choice board and the spiral review. And so why do a math choice board and a math spiral review? So the math choice board I love because it really promotes student agency in the classroom or even in your virtual classroom. I've been doing choice boards with my first graders for a couple years now, and I love it because they get to direct their learning, and so they get to really reflect and think about what do I want to finish first, what do I want to finish last, how much time do I need to spend on this activity, and it really helps them to be able to learn how to manage their time well. And then as they complete each activity, they're marking that off to be able to have some accountability with completing each activity. And then what I love about the spiral review is that you're not teaching math concepts in isolation. Because I think a lot of the times we teach time for a couple weeks and then we test them. And then we teach graphing for a couple weeks and then we test them. And then we teach numbers for a couple weeks and then we test them. And then what happens is we don't follow up with some of those skills. And so the students, then at the end of the year, they don't know it again. And so I think the spiral review does a great job of continuing to reinforce concepts all the way throughout the year. So at the end of the year, the students are really solid on all of the concepts that they needed to practice over the year. And so that's why I wanted to combine those two things. And so it's a choice board and it's a spiral review in one. And this can be used in your virtual classroom. It can also be displayed on a screen in your classroom, and then the students can write their answers on a piece of paper if that works better for you. But I wanted to share my screen so that way you could see what this looks like. And so here it is in the Teacher Pay Teacher store. Right now it's just $6. Once I add quarter 3 and quarter 4 in the next couple of weeks, that price is going to go up a little bit. But if you get it now, then you get the whole year for just $6. Now, quarter 1 was my first time doing a product, and so I'm changing it a lot. So I'm going in and I'm cleaning it up and I'm making it better. And so the choice board, I'm going to be going back in and making these images a lot sharper. But the gist is that they have the choice board with the activities, and then they have the spiral review. And so they're able to either drag the numbers down or they're able to type the numbers in. Because I noticed with some of my students, they really like to drag the numbers, but some of them, it was really hard for them to do that. And so adding the text boxes just made it a lot better. And so it changes every 3 weeks for quarter 1. And so week 1, 2, and 3 all have similar concepts. And then once you move into week 4, 5, and 6, those are different concepts, and same with week 7, 8, and 9. Because again, you want to teach them different concepts and then incorporate them throughout the year. And to start the year, I stuck with just 4 different concepts so that way to kind of ease them into the process. Now, if you look at 7, 8, and 9, these are different too. This is going to be including more of the fact families. And every single spiral review also has an answer for you to go along with it. Now for quarter 2, you're going to see it's a lot cleaner because I'm learning a lot more. And so the beginning has directions for the students on how to complete the math choice boards and also how to complete all of the concepts for that week. So they can always go back here to be able to listen to those directions. For the math choice board, they can look and see what math pages need to be done for each day. They can work on their iReady for 10 minutes. They can work on math facts for 5 minutes. And then they work on their spiral review. And those are the tasks that they're trying to complete. I inserted a timer here to be able to regulate their time. And so they can even click on that timer and then go into their iReady. And when they hear the timer go off, then they know that they're done. And then all of these are movable, so that way they can move it once they've completed the activities. And then let's say it's Monkey Monday. They just click on that and it'll bring them to the activities for that day. And so you can see some of these activities are the same from quarter 1, but I'm also including more activities. And so the graphing, filling in the missing numbers, so that way they continue to reinforce those skills throughout the year. Again, they can slide the numbers. They can also type them in. Now with Q2, the concepts change every 2 weeks because they're a little more familiar now. And so we want to give them some more reinforcement with those skills throughout Q2. And so here you'll see the fact family houses again, filling in the missing numbers, the number line for weeks 5 and 6. And again, an answer keys with all of them. We're starting to incorporate time. I know a lot of the times time isn't taught to the end of the year, but you teach it at the end of the year for a couple weeks and it's not reinforced. And so if you start to teach it at the beginning of the year, and I keep it really basic, the big handers always go into the 12 for all of Q2. And so I keep it really basic just to reinforce being able to see a clock and know what you're going to be doing with the clock. Cutting a shape in half. Q3, we'll start to cut it into fourths. And then week 7 and 8, again, these are different skills that we're adding in. For these, we're getting into lengths as well, true and false, counting pennies. Again, money is usually the thing we teach at the end of the year and then they forget it. So we're starting with pennies and then we'll do nickels, dimes, and quarters. And then what I've done for week 9 is it's all of those skills in one for the whole week. And so each day is focusing on a different skill that was taught throughout that quarter. So that way you can kind of get an idea of where your students are at with all of these different concepts. And so this is Q1 and Q2. I plan on uploading Q3 and Q4 by the end of October. So I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to me at primarydigitalclassroom@gmail.com and let me know if there's any way that I can help. Bye.